York City is one of the fashion capitals of the world, but the industry has made fewer strides in advancing and promoting minorities. In the uptown neighborhood of Harlem, a program is tapping into community talent led by a local who almost missed out on the industry entirely. Tina Tree reports.
When I sit at the sewing machine, or if I'm at the table working on something, I'm in my sanctuary. I've grown to really, really love what I do. I don't like it, I love it.
Henry Smith is a master tailor and sewing instructor in New York City. As a young man growing up in Harlem, it's work he never imagined for himself.
I was in church one Sunday morning and this lady came up to me and she asked me if I wanted to learn how to sew. I was like, no, I don't want to learn how to sew because sewing is for girls.
The offer came at a time when life at home had become difficult. His father had remarried after his mother's death, and Smith's relationship with him and his stepmother had grown estranged.
I was angry, very, very angry, so much to the point that I had made it up in my mind that I needed both of them to feel the hurt that I was feeling. And this was on a Friday that I came up with this idea that when I left the house Monday morning to go to school, that I was going to commit a very heinous act.
But that Sunday at church, when a congregant saw a different future for Smith, she offered to pay for a local tailoring program.
She said, baby, she said, I looked into your eyes from across the church. She said, and I saw something in your eyes that said if somebody didn't intervene in your life, you was gonna make a mistake that was gonna cost you your life itself. And she wasn't lying.
Smith studied at the Manhattanville Needle Trade School, opened by Marian Anderson, the first African-American licensed to teach tailoring in New York City.
He was everything that I needed. He was the counselor, he was my father, he was my mentor, he was my friend. And with that relationship, it changed my mindset as to what I was going to do the very next day.
Smith now has his own custom tailoring business in Harlem, a predominantly African-American neighborhood in New York. He's also teaching the next generation of seamsters at Sew Harlem, a business incubator for local creatives and entrepreneurs. It's a vital addition to New York's fashion scene, known the world over for its influence, but notably lacking in its diversity. One of the main causes is a lack of mentors and sponsorships for minorities, but not in this corner of the city. For Smith, giving back is personal.
I embrace people based on my past, based on how I got to be where I am, because you never know what someone comes into this atmosphere with.
Giving others an opportunity that can make all the difference, much like the one given to him over 30 years ago. For this accomplished tailor, it's a life dedicated to helping others fashion theirs. Tina Trinh, VOA News, New York.